Hello everyone. Whoops, I'm just trying to get the phone straight. I wasn't really planning on doing another live quite so soon, but was feeling a little bit riled actually. I saw a video yesterday which was great to see evidence submitted to the West Midlands Police with evidence documented about the risk to children through the jab, which was great. But right at the end, the guy said something along the lines of, this isn't just about standing in a park, or sorry, about just standing in a park and sharing fear. And immediately my hackles rose for many reasons. Obviously, the guy has no idea what a stand in the park is, the function it serves, the intention behind it. And as for sharing fear, I mean, where that's come from, I don't know. I can only imagine he's never actually been to a stand. But it kind of highlighted to me that there are still people out there who really don't understand what making a stand in your park is about. And it's very easy to just make very lazy, ignorant assumptions. And yeah, I felt quite, just aggrieved on behalf of all the thousands of standers who are making the effort every week to come together. And, you know, for multiple reasons, if anybody thinks it really is just standing in a park, then they're woefully mistaken. Clearly, the countless standers who have come together to get organised through the stands, I couldn't possibly begin to list. And I have no doubt that there were many standers in that crowd listening to the guy outside West Midlands Police Station. I don't think it's useful either to be talking about what people should be doing. You know, that's probably another thing. But yeah, for anybody who's not aware of the motivation, I guess you could call it, behind a stand in the park. When I first started this in February, we were under lockdown, and there were strict rules being enforced that you could not gather. You could not actually just stand. You had to be walking around. You had to be exercising for an hour, and woe betide you if you were actually meeting anybody. I think at that point you were allowed to be in a pair from the same household. Later on it changed, and it was, you could meet in groups of 6, and there were bubbles and all kinds of things going on, but that was the situation at the time. So actually making a stand was a form of protest. We're not a protest group in the traditional sense, but obviously to make a stand, hence the name, a stand in the park, was to be standing up to the powers that should not be and refusing to comply. So that in itself is, you know, a very powerful and visible resistance to the agenda. And then obviously on top of that, we had the coming together, the bringing together of people awake to all of this nonsense who had been completely isolated. So many people losing family and friends through just falling out, having completely different views on the whole thing, and people finding themselves totally alone. So the stand also served as a lifeline really within the community. So many people started stands believing they would be standing on their own, or, you know, there might be one other person, and have ended up with this, you know, group of individuals who share so much. We don't all have the same opinions on everything, of course, but real friendship and communities being created. And from that, we've got the actions that people are taking. You watch the footage from any protest, and in the UK, I can only speak for specifically, but the flags, the T-shirts, you know, there's yellow and a stand in the park everywhere. And many of these people had not been to protest before. They would never have considered going, but have felt empowered enough to do so with their new friends from the stands. You're not going to go to, I think this is where a lot of confusion comes in as well. You're not going to go to a park on a Sunday and see some huge protest event on a weekly basis. That's not what a stand in the park is about. Some people like to have a few placards or banners, but generally it's just to advertise that it's the stand taking place. Some people hand out leaflets as well, which is great. But, you know, ostensibly the meeting in the park, it's 1 hour a week. Obviously they go on much longer for people because it's a great social thing as well. But, you know, it's the hub, it's the meeting point. And from these stands, so, okay, we're not having to make the physical stand, I'm not moving right now because we don't have those restrictions in place. But once that happens, then we'll be back there. But as things are at the moment, it's the coming together. And that's where those ideas come from. I mean, from my stand alone in St Albans, the sheer amount of work that people are doing in the community is incredible. So it's quite disparaging. You know, I'm sure it wasn't intentional. I think it's just from not understanding what the stands are. But it's quite disparaging when we know how much has come out of these weekly stands. People coming together, getting organised, doing all kinds of things, including going to police stations, going to schools, going into towns. You know, I mean, the list goes on and on. I couldn't possibly go through all of that now because there's so much going on. And, you know, for others, aside from, you know, all of that, we have got, like I said, that lifeline. People need that connection, and that cannot be underestimated. To just dismiss it, the social aspect, you know, as if, oh, you're just standing in the park having a cup of tea. For some people, that might be pretty much as far as it goes. But even then, you cannot fail to be impacted by the others around you. If you're going every week, like I said, it's the empowerment aspect. So someone might, well, I know this has happened actually, it's not might, they get the information to start taking action on council tax, not paying council tax because it's fraudulent and they disagree with it. And things like that. Those are the actions where we're not complying that have a huge impact, actually, within society and on what's happening. So, yeah, I just felt like I really wanted to put that out there. I was going to just ignore it, and it's been bugging me ever since yesterday. So I just wanted to say, you know, good on you, everyone standing, all the people who do get it. When people do say things like that, it really is betraying ignorance on their part, because to just say that we're just standing in a park as if it has no impact, no effect whatsoever, and it's literally just that, is just... yeah, it's just woefully ignorant. So, yeah, I wanted to just give a shout out quickly as well to the Bury St Edmunds group. And let me get this right, Ipswich. And, oh goodness, there's another one. I'm so sorry. I am going to post this anyway. But they did a wonderful stand in the town in Bury St Edmunds, which is all about letting people know we exist, telling people that we're there if they've got any doubts, questions, confusion about the situation we're in, that they're welcome to come down. We're there to support them. And they've just done a fantastic job. Lots of interest. More and more people are obviously questioning what's happening. And again, the stands are a great way to just get that information, to be able to talk freely. And again, to dismiss that as something that's not, you know, people should be doing X, Y, and Z, when actually they are doing that because of the stands anyway. We can't dismiss any level on which the stands work, because they're all as important as each other, and they'll be different for each person. But don't ever doubt, you know, the ripple effect of what happens when we do come together, when we're connecting on that level in the physical. We're making change in the physical, but also, you know, emotionally, when we feel supported, people have got our backs, we can go to them. You know, when we're really going through it as well, we know, oh, Sunday, not just Sunday, of course, people are meeting outside of the stands as well, but that's kind of the focal point, and that's always there. It's that safety net as well. So yeah, I just wanted to pay tribute really to everybody who's standing every week, who knows what it's all about, and who will still be standing when, God forbid, we get locked down again, or, you know, whatever restrictions come our way. So yes, that was it really. Sending lots of love to you. I will speak to you soon. Take care. Peace.